Hi, I'm Martin. In this video today I'm going to be reading from the Daily Mail Online from the health section of this newspaper, and it's going to be about calls for the UK to print poison in every puff on individual cigarettes after Canada becomes first country to introduce the anti-smoking policy. So this, obviously, as I am a non-smoker myself, and in partialness, as this channel is about wealth and health and well-being, I will obviously be anti-smoking, but I wouldn't deny someone's right to smoke, but I would highly advise them not to smoke or to try and quit as soon as possible. So this channel is about mainly well-being, like physically, mentally, psychologically, all the things, trying to get out the neuroticisms or like the gunk that has been put upon you with unconsciousness intent or with malicious intent, trying to stop your growth and well-being. Not that everyone does that, but that does happen, and it's something to be aware of, and trying to sort out your own neurosis as well, and that's something that I'm going to be focused on as well, trying to work on my own mental well-being and getting out the gunk that was put in there that doesn't serve me. And at every new level it gets you to a certain stage, and then you have to change again, and I've started to notice this more, and this channel is going to be about my journey and documenting the whole progress. Never ends, it's always going to be an onwards journey, and I wanted to help people that are not as far along as the journey, or people maybe along a similar journey as me, same level or further ahead, and it's a place where we can all hang out and share ideas or like share things from a different perspective. So as I said, this channel is about well-being, finance and investing, self-development and that sort of thing. So if you find that sort of thing interesting, obviously please feel free to subscribe. It's free and you'll get notified if you click on the bell button when I next release a video. So calls for the UK to print poison in every puff on individual cigarettes after Canada becomes the first country to introduce the anti-smoking policy. So this will be very good for people who are new to smoking. Well, not new, it shouldn't be that way, but people who have just started smoking, it may put them off more just to see that reminder them every single time smoking kills. Sadly, for people that are more like addicted, who have been smoking for years, it may make them want them to quit, but they've built up a lot of mindsets, and they've become like a habit for them. And obviously with the addiction, because it's very an addictive substance, and then trying to go with withdrawal and quit. You've also got the social aspect of that, obviously going out with your friends or your work colleagues, if you go out for a cigarette, your lunch break or things like that, or like off the restaurant or a meal. I know people that smoke that like to go for like a cigarette after the meal, and trying to stop that and it's very, very hard, and they need to find something to replace that. And I don't think it will work on people that are like very addicted. And maybe new people that just started smoking, it might ruin like the cool factor, or in some weird way they might actually find it more cool because we're all being rebellious, but I don't know, hope not. But anyway, so Canada will print health warning labels on every single cigarettes from August the 1st. Tory peer Lord Young Cookman has spent 40 years lobbying for the move. And I'm glad the NHS spends $2.4 billion every year treating smoking related conditions. And this is another reason why I'm thinking, if you're a non-smoker, that's excellent. But if you're on my channel or like other people's channel and you want to quit smoking, more power to you. I believe in you and I know that you can do it. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. And don't listen to the naysayers or like people who are pessimistic. Ignore that gunk. That is part of it. You will be tested. And obviously when your friends go out or things go out, you will be tested there and then, and you have to find something to replace it. Maybe go and grab yourself a cup of coffee instead, if you drink coffee, or find something else to replace it, because it's kind of a bit brutal if you don't. But you will be tested, and it's going to be a hard journey, but you can do it, and it's worth it. And don't say, oh, I could be dead tomorrow, so what's the point? Don't listen to that nihilistic ideas. And this channel will be talking about concepts and ideas that I see quite a lot, where people thinking, oh, what's the point? It could be over tomorrow, so why bother? That's a very pessimistic, nihilistic viewpoint. That's a poison for your mind. When I was in my state of depression and when I was very nihilistic, it is poison for your mind. If you want to be into self-development, you need to get that gunk out and work on that and seeing what other things in the field. And there's going to be other things that you don't know, You have to become aware of them, and we will be discussing that more. But let's keep going. The UK should brandish individual cigarettes with health warning labels under reforms to stamp out smoking, experts have said. It would match a step taken by Canada this week in the world's first move to make it virtually impossible for smokers to ignore the dangers of smoking. Well, I don't think they're fully aware of the dangers of smoking, but they think it's like further down the road, or it won't happen to them. So they've kind of like shut off to it, and like they've I don't know, in some weird way they've like thinking, if you know what I mean, they palmed it like, oh, but down the line, not now, or like, well, it won't affect them, it'll be always someone else. But there could be some people that smoke their whole life and it never affects them. But that is the anomaly. Why increase the odds? You only live one life, or as in this form, in this body. So why would you want to try to shorten it or make it as unhealthy as possible? So when you get older, you can stay healthier and live like a longer life. Right, it doesn't guarantee it. It doesn't guarantee it, but don't be nihilistic and think, oh, why bother? I'm going to do it anyway. So you've got to avoid both ends, and I do see that quite a lot. So the country's health chiefs hope phrases including poison in every puff and cigarette-caused cancer will help curb tobacco use. Widely welcomed by Canadian health bodies, Conservative peer Lord George Young, who has spent 4 decades lobbying for similar UK law, urged the government to follow suit. He said, I congratulate Canada on being the first to take a forward step in this sensible public health measure, and I think that's really, really great. And I know it's like a horrible image there, but it really does need to hammer home the dangers of smoking. And if you're into self-development, it is the amount of chemicals. Maybe in another video I'll go through all the chemicals, the gunk that they put into cigarettes. There's so many carcinogenics. Not just from the burning. Just forget all the other poisons that they put in it. Like, you're burning something and you're breathing in like smoke. It's really harmful for your health. And secondly, the cost factor primarily would be the health. But obviously, I know money is tight right now for everyone. But your health and mental well-being always comes first, because you can always get more paper. Even if you don't have it right now, you can always get more paper normally in the future. But if you lose your health and physical health and increase your odds for getting cancers, and hopefully you don't, or other serious health illnesses, but you are increasing your odds. So Canada yesterday revealed that it should start printing health warning labels into individual cigarettes. In Canada, less than 5% by 2035. So cigarette and vaping prevalence in the UK. So proportion of Britons who smoke or vape. So, hang on, where let's view the gallery. So in 2021, adult Britons who smoke cigarettes. So in 2011, 20% of people smoked. And now in 2022, 23, it appears to be about 13% smoke. But there has been an increase in vaping of over 16s who use e-cigarettes. So the way they could stamp that out more would be to increase the age for smoking or e-cigarettes, and then that number would go down, decrease. But as people are becoming more health conscious and taking care of their health, and obviously there's more self-awareness, and obviously people have more money and things like that, people can take better care of their health. But it's not something you take more care of your health, but there are lots of good things that you can do. So recommendations to make illegal smoke free by 2030. Invest 125 million in smoke-free incentives annually. Increase the age of sale by 1 year every year. So that is another good thing. So eventually no one could legally smoke. So the people who are already addicted can continue to smoke if they choose to. Or if you're underage, 1 year you get 1 year smoke and then you're banned for the rest of your life, which is, it'll be a good thing. But it also gives the people who have smoked the ability to keep smoking if they choose to, and they're not going to be forced to go cold turkey overnight, which would not be a pretty thing to face. Advice to quit from all NHS medics. Increase tobacco duty by more than 30%. That will considerably increase their price. I still think in people who are heavily addicted will just absorb that cost and pay anyway, and they'll probably spend less money elsewhere, probably on better nutritious food, or like making sure that they're drinking clean water, like for filtration, because if you live in an area where the water is not very good, they won't spend on that, or other things that they'll cut back on that they really need to spend more money. So I don't think that will put some people off, but it will put some people off, if you know what I'm saying. Ban supermarkets from selling tobacco products. So I don't know where you would probably buy it unless you have to go to some tobacco specialist. Powers to close down shops selling illicit tobacco. That is a good idea, because you don't know. I know it's very unhealthy, but obviously if it's not regulated, you don't know what other things that they're putting into it to cheapen the price down, just to maximise profit, and even be even more unhealthy for your health. Films and TV shows with tobacco imagery are 18 plus. Ban smoking in pub gardens, hospital grounds and public spaces. I already thought smoking was already banned in obviously it's not banned in the gardens, but that would be a good idea. I would think that would be a good idea for people who want to be outside and want to enjoy the summer weather, and not have to breathe other people's cigarettes. Saying if you're enjoying a nice meal, or if you've got young kids around, your own young kids, and you don't want them to breathe in cigarettes from other people, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe they can have a designated area where people can choose to smoke if they choose to. I know the UK laws changed now. Obviously, you used to be able to smoke in pubs for a long while back, and you can't smoke inside. But I think that is a good thing. And hospital grounds within public spaces. So I don't know what that means by public spaces. So I suppose you're walking along a public footpath, you can't smoke, so that'll be really restrictive where people can smoke. So tax tobacco giants extra 70 million for smoking services. So that will just increase people to just increase the price of cigarettes more, because they won't probably absorb the cost. So that will be passed on to the smoker. So £15 million annually for campaigners on smoking myths. Pay pregnant women to quit smoking. I don't think that will work. I think people will probably maybe just lie, potentially. And obviously if they're very addicted, when you've got an addiction, I don't think money is the paramount reason to quit. You have to want to quit and have a really strong will, and to continue doing that and know why you're doing it, and not be tempted by other people. I don't think £500, I'll give you £500 to quit right now. I don't think that will work. It does sound good on paper. Maybe if someone's fairly new and they're not fully blown addicted, it may work, but maybe they need to work on things maybe more to actually beneficial them to actually quit smoking. Because once the money is spent, if it's gone, what do you think is going to be more useful? Having you quit smoking through services, or you're given a lump sum and the money is spent? What's going to be more beneficial for you? Some campaigners providing updated smoking service advice. £8 million annually for local smoking. Targets £2 million in data identify new intervention. Right, when I proposed in 1970s, it was reasonable that proportionate response to a lethal product. This remains cause more than 40 years later. Last year, Lord Young also proposed tobacco manufacturers use 8 different warnings in rotation on its sticks and rolling paper under the terms of the cigarette stick health warning bills. So what I will think was happen, I do know people that smoke, they will probably there may be an underground thing where you can buy papers where they don't have that warning label over it, or even you put a shield over it so you don't have to read it, so you can stay in denial and not confront it, and people will pay not to see it, where actually it would be in their self-interest. It is a weird neurosis in the mind, really. I think, oh yes, but it's more a form of denial, and we shouldn't shame them. but we need to help people who want to quit. And it's, if you know what I mean, it's really harmful for your health. And that's what I think will probably happen if they do start printing it on the thing. I think they put people there on Amazon or other retail agents. People will start selling a product that will go shield or go over that warning label, where that they won't read it. Or like, you know, them from the 30s, you know, the ladies had that long stick where it goes into the thing, and then maybe that will cover up that thing. That's what I think what would probably happen. Obviously, there's no way to prevent the government to do that. They've got to do their part, and what people do beyond that point is up to them. But I think it could be like a good move. Meanwhile, Hensel Cheeseman, Deputy Chief Executive of Action on Smoking and Health, has said warnings on cigarette sticks papers would reinforce the message to smokers about the harms. She added, particularly children who are more likely to be given a cigarette than adult smokers are hence avoid the health warnings on packs. Maybe they need to have like other ones there, like more like morbid, like it causes like a painful death or something like that, because not all young people will know what leukemia is, or like impotence. If you're like a young child, if you know what I mean, poison in every puff. That is maybe like a really good one for like young people to receive. And I think maybe in the next video I record like all the different harmful chemicals that are in cigarettes. So this channel is not just about finance. It's going to be about growth, self-development, investing, expansion, creating a better future for yourself, getting out your own neurosis in your own mind to improve your mental well-being, helping your local communities, helping other people, spotting bad, unreputable people, and like emotional, I call them energy vampires that are harmful for your growth and well-being. Not just in that, but for spotting that and why they are like that, and they will be tested. Current health-related messages and images of the cigarettes and little cigars have been in place since 2011. The country hopes the new move, set to be introduced on August 1st, will help in effort to cut tobacco use in Canada to less than 5% by 2035. Health Canada believes by April 25, retail Canadians will only carry tobacco products with their new warning labels. In a statement, Health Canada said label the tip-in paper on individual cigarette lighters, little cigars, tubes and other tobacco products will make it virtually impossible to avoid the health warnings altogether. According to Canadian Minister of Mental Health, Addictions and Associate Ministers of Health, Caitlin Burnett, tobacco use kills 48,000 Canadians each year. The updated graphic images displayed on packaging will provide a real and startling reminder of the health consequences of smoking, she said. We will continue to do whatever it takes to help more people in Canada to stop smoking and help young people to live healthy tobacco-free lives, she added. Around 1 in 8 Brits and Americans report smoking cigarettes now, compared to nearly half in 1970s. The UK government aims to slash smoking rates to just 5% by 2030, and hopefully they will reach a target, and maybe when I'm here in 2030 we can come back and we can say, yay, you achieved that and you beat your goal, or like maybe we need a bit more work. Hopefully they hit the goal, and hopefully people take on their own initiative to not smoke. So smoking kills around 78,000 people in the UK every year. So 78,000 people in every year, that is a lot of families and people that have been affected, or other people, individuals, lives have been cut short, where they may have wanted to do things or spend time with their loved ones or family or their friends, or explore, or just enjoy life, or just try new things, try new foods, or even reach their full potential, even if they're not into the self-development thing. You know what I mean? It does ruin so many lives, and that is a lot of people every year. That's 213 people every day, or nearly 9 people every day die from smoking in the UK. So it's estimated that around 500,000 hospital admissions every year in England are attributed to smoking. That smoking costs the economy £17 billion per year. Of this, 2.4 billion falls on the NHS, 1.9 billion falls on the social care system, and over 13 billion is lost in productivity costs from tobacco-related lost earnings, unemployment, and premature death. So the 7,000 chemicals in tobacco. So I think it may actually take a bit of time to actually read through all the chemicals that are in the cigarette. I thought there was like several hundred, but I didn't actually realise it was 7,000. So maybe I might pick out some of the ones, and then maybe I can read what some of the chemicals that actually do to your body. Because if you're going to be into self-development and growth, you're going to want a healthy body and healthy mind, and then you can flourish more, because then you're not going against the grain so much, because your body's in a good place and your mind gets into a better place, and they're both interlinked to one another. And we're going to read what some of the chemicals actually have the effect on your body if you smoke them. So it's including tar and others that can narrow arteries and damage blood vessels, and the fault behind some of the damage smoking inflicts on the heart. Meanwhile, nicotine is a highly addictive toxin found in tobacco, and is heavily linked with the dangerous increase in heart rate and blood pressure. Smoking unleashes poisonous gases such as carbon monoxide, which replaces oxygen in the blood. And oxygen in the blood, and having oxygen in your body, is very vital. I've been watching a video today where it talked about this people about exercising with an oxygen mask, and how about having oxygen rich blood. Now, you can't breathe in 100% oxygen because that's really bad for your body, but if you exercise with an oxygen mask and breathe in oxygen, I know that's very specialised, but it costs a little bit of money. But not just that, but smoking reduces the oxygen, and if you don't have the oxygen, it increases illnesses and stuff like that. So if you smoke, it decreases your ratio of your blood in your body to use the oxygen to keep you healthy, and if you have enough oxygen, you can fight illnesses. But obviously the smoking does the opposite effect of what you want, and then we'll talk about that more in the future. So that's going to be a really cool subject, and I'm glad I read that, and we'll be making more videos about that. So reducing the availability of oxygen for the heart, and I think that is it. I always find like the comment section really toxic, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to bother with the comment section again, because it's just so many toxic people, like toxic ideas. It's like, come on. So I know it's not going to be easy. If you're smoking, you want to quit. Hopefully you found this video useful, and I know there's not much content on here, much more, but I'm going to grow this channel out. I'm going to try and help you as much as possible. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it if you focus and take each step of the second of the day, and it does get better. I promise you it does get better. So hopefully you found this video useful and informative, and I'm going to really look forward to maybe in the next video talk about some of the harmful chemicals that are in cigarettes and how they affect your body. And please feel free to subscribe if you found this video useful and informative. Thank you for watching, and take care, and I'll see you in the next video, and I look forward to hearing from you.